It's game time, we ain't playing with you. It's game time, it's game time, we ain't playing with you. That's how we ball for y'all.
What up, what up, what up? You were rocking with you, Bob. Thanks for joining me for episode 88. Round of applause. All right, all right. Let's just jump in some topics, man. So December 19th, that was like the date they said that I'm still on 3i Atlas. I'm still on 3i Atlas. Said that was supposed to be the closest is it's from the orbiting to basically for us to see from Earth. The weather was, I mean, I don't know where other people were at, but the weather was terrible. It was terrible. It was very cloudy. Could not even, I don't know, it was designed like that, but I mean, if you had a telescope, definitely in New York, it was not pleasant. You could not see anything in the sky. It was literally a gray sky. That happened. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm like, okay, so it's so close. I don't know why. I don't see no pictures really circulating. So I'm just worried about that. Still nobody really showing us exactly how it looks. I'm sure people still interested in wanting to see how it looks. But nothing out there. Nothing out there, and it's just happenly NASA just launched these new basically satellite dish, but they're in the shape of a UFO. They kind of call it this satellite. They said basically like flying saucers. Is designed efficiently for like the launch for more power in space. You know, but it's a weird timing that you will launch something the day before that is going to be the closest to the Earth. But people kind of like speculating like, damn, why you have to look at why you have to make it that type of shape, so now it could be at a distraction for people. So now if we do see these kind of like satellites looking like UFOs or just UFOs itself, it's just gonna be no, that was actually a satellite. That's not the real thing. That's not what you see. Or was they like nervous that because they did it on the 18th, and were they nervous maybe because they thought, hey, it's gonna get closer to Earth, maybe this object that was very we basically still can't identify it. I mean, it's not a comet no more because of the actions it's making and things that it's doing. Was it probably going to let off some type of UFOs coming out of the spaceship, or I mean, the object? Was it going to show different things going enter and out, and they had to just hurry up and put something in the air saying it no, that's a satellite UFO. That's not what that is. That's not what it is. So I mean, it's just a coincidence. It's a coincidence NASA launched that, and to have it looks just like a UFO. So let's see. So you take a look at it. It's like why would you make these type of things that similar like a UFO? Like, it's just all the different designs that you couldn't pick. You decided to do that. So uh, you know, that's something that that was a little bit suspect. And I'm just still on you. I'm still on you, NASA. Why haven't you released any type of footages? Why haven't we seen any type of footage? What's the big deal? I mean, if it's a comet, if it's a rock, you say or whatever, you just want to you want to see what it looks like. Now all these AI, because you don't know what is real, what's not real at this point. So when it looks at you look search the internet and you try to look for what is a 3i Atlas picture, you're gonna get far distance, like a little dot. Now like it was changing colors. We talked about that. So nobody hasn't really seen this thing, and it's the size of they say the size of Manhattan. We always say that, but what does it look like? Because now they said this is like the I think like 2 more weeks, and then basically it should be out of the supposedly supposed to leave our solar system. And then we most likely we'll never see that again. But then I read something that's saying that but there's going to be more supposedly comets going to be coming soon. Just like we're going to be seeing it rapidly. We're going to keep seeing those type of things. So I'm like, mm. And now you trying to just launch these UFO satellites. Dude, I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, so everybody's still wondering what the hell that looks like. We're gonna pay attention to see what's going on with that. And hey, we finally get a clear image. That'll be nice. That'll be nice, NASA. That'll be pleasant. I'm heavy on talking about these robots, but what I'm seeing now, and it's kind of like I don't know if I'm just like looking 10 years down the line, or just showing like how advanced these robots are. I talk about all these robots, but I'm not. I just get nervous because I see all these. I don't want to see all these type of clips of us beating up the robots. Man, I just get so nervous when I see that. I mean, I know it's nothing. It's nothing. It's not in the beginning, but then I just look like, just think like, damn. One day these robots are intelligent and they're gonna see this. They're gonna process this, or they're gonna see that we was just joking around, or they're gonna take it to another extent. Or they're like in the back of their mind, they're gonna just be like, damn. Yeah, don't worry. We gonna get y'all. We gonna get y'all. Y'all keep throwing us around. You keep pushing us around and doing all this craziness. And we gonna process that in our brain and then figure out how that is because I did say something interesting that when they was testing different AI robots, they was just nervous about the way that they store information where they won't let you know what they're thinking. They're just gonna process it in their own way and keep it in the back of their mind. Shit, I was like, damn, that's something like a human. Sometimes we might not act right away, whatever is going on, but we'll never forget and we'll keep it in our mind. And then if we bring it back up, we bring it back up, and it's like you might forgive as you won't forget type thing. But are these robots gonna forgive, or are they gonna see that we just playing around? We just getting used to you guys. We don't mean no harm. I just get so scared. But I seen I seen Speed. You know, he always plays around. The YouTuber. He's always playing around, but he actually landed himself on a $1 million lawsuit with the robot Jizz. I don't know why they call him Jizz, but because he was just playing around. But they say, hey, that robot lost money. That robot lost money from hitting it and beating it up, where the point that it malfunctioned, that he had like a gig with Mr. Beast, and now he kind of missed it. So I guess that's what the big thing of they're trying to sue and trying to get some money out of that. But
Get get your ugly ass off my.
Speed, he's just always joking.
All right, bro, watch out. All right. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yep, that's it. That's it. Yup. That's
So
it.
why
Yup.
you always humping the
No, no.
robots?
Nah, bro. Nah, that's it. Nah, bro, that's it. Nah, that's it. He think I'm playing, bro.
So that was iShow Speed beating up robot influencer Rizbot. And the
Yeah,
Rizbot is
Rizbot.
not happy. Social Robotics is suing Speed, seeking $1 million in damages.
$1
They're
million?
claiming that Speed did significant damage to the Rizbot, resulting in it not being able to make any content for 28 days. Now, during that time frame, they're claiming that Rizbot was set to play a major role in a Mr. Beast video, which they ended up having to cancel. According to
See that
Social
too, but-
Robotics, this absence resulted in a 72% decline in viewership for the Rizbot.
Wait. So people making up things and well, I mean, I wouldn't say making up in that situation, but it's just the way that trying to capitalize on this new robot thing. I do see it a lot on the clips. Whoever has it going on social media, definitely trying to capitalize off just these new robots and different things out there. But damn, I was like, damn, a lawsuit on there, lawsuit for that. Sheesh. It just tells you, you got to be careful with these things. But Yo, the talking about the robots. When I was talking about, yeah, I'm still a little bit iffy with that. They had Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, he's a basketball player. For the Mavericks, he kind of just played around with it. Was doing a little kick. You can try, play around. He pushed it too much. So these are things that I'll be like, yo, are the robots gonna be alright with this? Because they're gonna see this. All these clips going viral. They're gonna some of them are gonna program in, and they're gonna program them to see this stuff, and then it's gonna be like what? But I did also see the clip where the robots are performing in China. They look like dancing robots. It was crazy. It was actually crazy. You know, they had a whole show. A whole performance, a whole performance. Doing flips and all that. Performing with and they moving pretty good. Moving pretty good. Crazy. So even I seen Elon like was like, oh, he tipped his hat. He was like, yeah, that's unbelievable because he's big on there too with Tesla and all that stuff. So they're looking at it like, damn, yeah. But we all, always talked about it. China's always ahead of us in different things, but now that they're performing, people gonna want to go see it. I mean, I'm looking at like down the line. Would you like if they had something in the Times Square or something like that? Would you want to go see a robot performance? Down the line, I could see it happening. Definitely can see it happening with robots performance. I wonder if how it's gonna be like a robots like drama performance type thing. You know what I mean? That'd be too crazy. They have like relationships with the robots. But all that stuff is some futuristic talk. So, but it's interesting seeing them type of things and go like that. But another thing, everybody's talking about the Epstein list. Everything Epstein list was supposed to be like the deadline was supposed to be, I think like a couple of days or this days, um, where they were supposed to release everything. Some people are like, where's it at? When President Trump he did agree to it and sign off on it. But now people kind of hesitant because they like, okay, you releasing some of this stuff. You supposed to release all of it, but you ain't release all of it. So now I feel like y'all kind of nitpicking what you want to release to the public and what you don't want to release. So, and I don't think that was the agreement. So I think that's where people was kind of just like, what's going on? Why are we just seeing some of this stuff? Why are we not seeing all of it? We want to. This is not what we signed on for. We want to see all of it.
There are hundreds of images, including blacked out pictures of naked women and CDs and cassettes recovered from raids on his homes, and photos of several high-profile figures, such as the former U.S. President Bill Clinton, seen here with Epstein's co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell in a pool. The former president has never been accused of wrongdoing and has denied knowing of Epstein's crimes. And in other photos, he's captured with celebrities such as Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, and Mick Jagger, though being named or pictured in the files is not an indication of wrongdoing. Comparatively, the DOJ hasn't released much with President Trump in it. He socialized with Epstein in the 90s and early 2000s, but so far there's only one photo in this batch, which shows a few photos of Donald Trump, which were stored in a desk drawer. And this photo appears to show the former Prince Andrew laying across 5 women whose faces are also redacted. Behind him is Ghislaine Maxwell. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has denied allegations that he sexually abused one of Epstein's victims, Virginia Giuffre. There are also thousands of files connected to past investigations of Epstein, including phone messages from someone saying they had a female for him. But much of the content has been redacted. Victims are not happy that all of the files haven't been released by today's deadline. And so far, the answers they are desperately searching for don't appear to be.
So, yeah, I mean, it does look like, I mean, they trying to throw Bill Clinton under the bus. Like, he really starting to show like he was involved with a lot. But, but I put it this way: Epstein, yes, he probably dealt with a lot of celebrities, and a lot of celebrities is just like disowning him. Like, nah, I was with my wife when I was taking this picture with him. I was never on that island, type thing. But that is not what the public want to see. They want to see who was involved. They want details. They want to know who was all involved. That's the list. Who was always going to that island. Who was on them private planes. Who was on them private islands. What was going on, what pictures that they have here. They had some little bit here and there in the pictures, but they trying to just say, nah, that's not all of it. So it's definitely looking like the list is being tampered with. It's slowly, it's supposed to be the deadline, so it's supposed to release everything, but that's not what's happening. That's not what's going on right now. So that's why people are thinking like, yo, this is not what they agree about. They want to see it all, release it all. So let's see what they're gonna listen to the public, or what they're gonna release next. Who specifically they're gonna name, and find out. Everybody has to wait and see and find out, see what's going on. Um, but talking about Donald Trump a little bit in that, he just recently just signed the executive order, basically changing like the marijuana schedule of from a 1 to a 3, which now you can consider it's not a very strong substance. It's not weed. It's not say it's not that of a strong of a drug. Um, you know, but let's be clear, it's still not legalized in certain states. So you still can get arrested in certain states and then also prosecuted. But it just opens the door where now it's more broad of a business where banks are starting to get a loan and invest and willing to work with other dispensers when it comes to selling marijuana. You know, but it's not considered a hard substance anymore. They dropped it at a different level. But yeah, I mean, Biden was originally, in place before Trump. But Trump is in order office now, so obviously he's gonna go ahead and get that done. Just signing that executive order. So it's a good look for people who's definitely owning businesses when it comes to Spencer. I know a while back people were just like, damn, uh, when I guess the minorities they'll say, should have been more ahead of, or should have been front lining of the business to try to get more dispensers in certain areas because they're not ownership of it is not too many of them. Um, 'Cause there was something that was holding things back when it came to that. And then I would look like, I mean, we was always, I guess, and it's funny because that's more people who are in jail are really in jail for a different possession of marijuana. A lot of minorities was definitely caught up with that, especially with the stop and frisk when that was that time. But it's just the fact that now that they're switching everything out, changing the laws of that, and definitely should be more responsible trying to be owners of their business and investing into the dispensers. If we right there been involved with it from day one, but but it more looks like it's going to be a little bit more um acceptable for this trying to be dispensers out in different states. But still have to be still have to have something purpose wise because he did talked about it where a lot of people have different illnesses and or even come back from war and things like that. So he talked about that.
Is to announce that I will be signing an executive order to reschedule marijuana from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 controlled substance with legitimate medical uses. We have people begging for me to do this, people that are in great pain. For decades, this action has been requested by American patients suffering from extreme pain. incurable diseases, aggressive cancers, seizure disorders, neurological problems, and more, including numerous veterans with service related injuries and older Americans who live with chronic medical problems that severely degrade their quality of life.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I guess just whatever, as long as you use it responsibly, if it's for people who use it for stress or chronic issues and things like that, medical issues, it's a stressful time in the world, and sometimes you need that to medicate. I get it, but hey, so that was that, I understand it. So I did check out the fight. Everybody I talked about it. I was like, hey, Jake, if you gonna fight Anthony Joshua, you gotta make sure it's real. So it was just I mean we're gonna say this Jake E for effort, you know what I'm saying? E for effort, um but obviously that fight didn't look good. It looked like he didn't train to be that to go multiple rounds, and that's what looked like he got tired. That's what it was looking a little sloppy. But watching the fight, dude, everybody thought Anthony was gonna knock him out a little earlier, but he obviously didn't. But what I say is a good fight now. I won't say a good fight as entertainment. It's entertainment, and I predicted that Anthony was gonna knock him out. Um, but hats off to Jake for keeping it real and taking that hit. But it looked like Anthony took Joshua. He just kind of took it easy on him at the end, where he knew he was kind of finished. And I think was that sixth round. He took it easy. He was gonna hit him, but he could have really, really, really hurt him. But he hurt him enough to the point where he's saying that he broke his jaw. But I think he could have really, really hurt him. But he kept it I guess fundamental, just letting him know like, yeah, don't step in the ring with me ever again. But hey, and Jake Paul said he's gonna take some time off. So it's a good money grab for them, man. It's a good money grab, but it's good entertainment. Long as he kept it a fair, well, I wouldn't say fair, but a fight that where people want to watch. You can hear him that jaw crack. So maybe he did. Maybe he did break his jaw. Maybe he did break his jaw because he has photos of him in the hospital, and right after the fight, he ain't got that taken care of. So but yeah, put on the fight. It was entertainment, great entertainment. So, hats off to Anthony Joshua showing what he was still capable of doing. Let's see, will this spark something out of him to come back or fight somebody else? But then they try to ask Jake, was like, yo, who else you want to fight? He was like, man, I want to take some time away. I want to take some time off. Uh, you know, figure it out. No, exactly. I mean, damn, made a lot of money. Don't even need to fight. Just doing it for the sport. Doing it for his I guess his bucket list to see, to prove itself. But yeah, that was bad. That was bad. But hey, E for effort. E for effort. You know what I mean? E for effort. Talking about Netflix. Dave Chappelle. David Chappelle. He came out with another special right after the fight. Unstoppable. You know, and I think just looking at Dave Chappelle, all his journey from what he started with his comedy, he's always pushing the envelope, and then he's always just a person that just freedom of speech, like he takes comedy serious to the point where these things are that's the way he came in the game, making these type of jokes and making these type of controversial jokes. So where he almost got canceled. He talked about him just going to Dubai, basically Middle East. And then they just take the jokes a little bit different. The way U.S. is being a little bit sensitive about certain things. And hey, so he just he made a whole lot of jokes about that, but checked a little bit of it out. He made some jokes about Diddy. Oh, then he made some jokes about Charlie Kirk. Talk about he's not no Martin Luther King. Nice try, but yeah, he just that's just what he does. He's gonna push the envelope. He still see the comedy in different things, and that's still you still need that because that's comedy. Once you take away the freedom of speech, then it just blurs the lines of just everything being the same and not coming up with nothing that's creative. So we always hats off to always what Dave Chappelle does and what he brings to the stage, and how he just keeps going with different things. So definitely check that out on Netflix, Unstoppable. You know what I mean? That's definitely what people feel like. You don't want to be unstoppable. What not unstoppable? The Nickelodeon just had the premiere of the SpongeBob. So the kids are supposed to watch that and have a nice premiere. But Ice Spice, you stole the show. You stole the show. In a good way or a bad. I mean, let's put it this way: that Ice Spice, what she wear, if she wore that outfit anywhere else, that's a fire outfit. Like that's what she wears. That's in her basically the way she dressed, and everybody approved it like that. Nobody really don't have any problems with that. But the controversy is bringing that to the net. No, Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon already has a bad name off of that, off that little document. But having SpongeBob for the kids and a lot of kids being around, no, it's just a bad image, because you don't kids imitate things and they see it. So you taking pictures, basically a see-through dress with kids around. That's a little bit different. So I don't know who was your stylist, but they definitely probably gonna take a pay cut for that one because that wasn't in it. But she she had a role in SpongeBob. She had a speech and all that, so she was kind of nervous already. She always like, yeah, I'm a little nervous. I mean, I think you would be a little nervous. You know, Dress fire though, just not for kids. Fire enough, you just don't want your little kids wearing that.
Yeah, enjoy. I've never seen the film, so this will be my first time too. Um, this is my first voiceover. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Yeah, enjoy. I've never seen the film, so this will be my first time too.
It's a fire dress, but just not for the
Hey girl, you're
kids.
so cute.
Definitely not for the kids.
Hey y'all in the back. Sorry, I'm so shy and weird. Yeah, it's my first time. I hope you enjoy it. I was really nervous, but this is so exciting, and I'm just so grateful to be a part of this. And I'm
I
grateful
don't
that
know
you
if she
guys came
knew.
out to watch it. So
But she had
yes.
to know. She,
Okay,
I
let's
don't know
begin.
if
I
she
hope
knew it
it.
was gonna be that much. That's pretty serious. But I know the person who plays SpongeBob, he was kind of like, damn, why did she like this just takes away of the movie, and now people are talking about Ice Spice. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, that's not the image that we want kids to have, especially kids. Grown ups, yeah, do what you want to do, wear what you want to wear. Certain age, go ahead, do your thing. Kids, no, can't have that. So, but shout out to Ice Spice regardless, for her being in the movie, having a voiceover, doing her thing. So still shout out to her. That was just a little bad publicity. But congratulations to Charlemagne. Yeah, I don't really like to call him the God, but yeah, Charlemagne the God. Definitely the Forbes reported the $2 million deal, 5 year deal that he's doing with iHeart. Those rumors that supposedly he's about to get fired. I don't know who had those rumors. I can never see him leaving that show. I mean, he's definitely a part of that, especially the Breakfast Club. So it's like I wouldn't never think he would be fired. I would think if he wanted to leave, he can leave, but that's not he don't like he going nowhere. nowhere. He's not going nowhere. But yeah. So that's what they had to play for that.
No, we got a wrap, but this is breaking right now. Charlemagne the God did a $200 million deal with iHeartMedia.
Girl, please.
My
Hey,
sources
but,
are, that's per Forbes.
Nah, that ain't
You
me.
ain't going nowhere. You here. So you work here.
I do work here.
So Forbes just dropped the article, and it's a look
I wonder
into
if he knew.
Charlemagne's new empire and his
Well, he's
ambition to
fat.
turn
He was
Black
coming
Effect into the BET of podcasting. So they said that the 5-year deal was signed back in August, and that you've launched over 60 shows with Black Effect, but you plan to add 10 more in 2026. Is that correct?
Listen, I don't know what that number is you're talking about, but yeah, salute to Forbes. They highlighted my career and my various business ventures. Thank you. All praises due to God. God is so good. And I just want God to continue to guide my steps, my words, and my actions. I'm actually on the I'm on the cover.
Yes.
The cover of Forbes.
Yeah.
Now,
My
hold
bad,
on.
correct
I'm
me.
reading this. Hold on. I'm reading this, and it says Charlemagne the God recently signed a $200 million deal with iHeart. Now, Charlemagne, when I walked in today, you said you got me a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
I did get you a Christmas gift.
Was it before you signed this or after you signed this?
Listen, I don't know nothing about the number. All I'm telling you is that
I'm talking about the number.
Apologies to everyone who reported otherwise that I wasn't staying with iHeart. I don't know where you would get that from.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, hats off that. You definitely moving the envelope and yeah, just keep moving the envelope and show him different work and just start. He started, you know, he deserved it. He started from, you know, with Wendy Williams and now look at him now. Definitely just took his own way and made his own lane. So definitely hats off to him. You know, congratulations to him, and then just moves that envelope. $200 million deal, 5 years. Dope. Definitely dope. Well deserved when you put the hard work in nonstop. Hey. Then I didn't know he had like other ventures where he's, I don't know if he's like 60 podcasts, like different podcasts. I guess he got his own you know, company where he's definitely putting other people in place and things like that for different entertainment for Black people and or everybody. So that's definitely dope. It's definitely dope. So hats off him. All right, let's get into some motivation. I need a motivation. This one says it's most important that you surround yourself with positivity always and have it on your mind at all times. Hey man, that's a big thing, you know. Oh, I said Tyler Perry said that. I don't know if I ever said that one, but yeah, you know, always talk about big things with positivity. Always try to stay positive on on your mind. Try to bring it into your life. Try to bring it into existence. That's the things that happen. So you know, that's the most important. Sometimes you know things go on. But you got to just keep staying positive, positive. That's all. Have that in your mind. You know, things even though it can be negative around you, just try to stay positive or have that mindset. You know, all the time. So I like that when you said that. You know. One more says, I like this one. It says, if you want to feel rich, just count all the things that you have that money can't buy. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, say money's not everything. Obviously, it's something, you know, where it could bring out the best in or actually bring out the worst in people, but it also can change your life. You know, definitely money can change your life, and then things around you change people around you. Also, you know, brings your dreams to come true. You know, so it makes if that fulfills you, that's definitely what you want to feel. But there's also things that money can't buy, and that's a lot of things that a lot of people with money might want. You know, sometimes money can't buy certain things. I'm not going into detail, but we all know certain things that we all should be thankful for, and especially when it comes to health. Definitely, you know, no matter how rich you is, you can't buy time. So you're young and you got the world against you. Well, the world feel like the world's against you, but just look at you got time. You know, you still got time to change it, or just look forward to better days. So yeah, definitely, I like that one. I definitely like that one. But that brings in saying, you know, Merry Christmas. So Merry Christmas to everybody. If I don't see you, definitely Merry Christmas to you and your family. wishing them the best. Also, people got like starting with the New Year's resolutions, so people just put them goals in play, and work towards it, and definitely get at it with the New Year's resolution. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do another one, but maybe some more topics pop up. You might see me before the New Year, but if you don't, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Wish all everybody the best. Wish all the blessings. Wish all your goals to come true. All the things you want. Always, like they say, always make it a better year. If you had a worse bad year last year, make sure focus on making a better year. Or if you had a great year from last year, make sure you continue to have another best great year. You know. Yeah, and that's all I got for everybody today. But thanks for joining me for episode 88. Still, don't forget to like, subscribe, all the good things I got going on out there. Check out the music. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, we get a chance, look at Apple, Spotify, or all the things you watch the podcast. Make sure you always tuned in to that too. Got that. Still, you can take a listen to it, and when you get a chance, and also listen to new music. So I'm still looking to drop some new music soon. Waiting for everything to die down, but yeah, like I said, check out Sky Rise. The Gerbil in the intro. Check out Savage, Ty Dolla Sign. Saying on that, and then check out Born to Fail. Check out that, and then check out the new music coming up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, do all that good stuff. I like communicating and interact. So, but that's all I got for everybody today. So, peace.
I love it. You guys are so great.